person, every family had to pay by life to get to Israel. Everyone lost someone. Everyone. When we start our journey from Ethiopia to Sudan to get to Israel, I was 11 years old, and we walked from Ethiopia to Sudan about 1 month, and it was 800 kilometers. To see every day about 30 bodies go to buried, and to hear all those screaming and crying. For 11 kids old, it's traumatic experience. We arrived in Israel, and we get here on Sunday morning. It was really exciting experience. Of course, we touched the land and kissed the land. Here I feel home, which nowhere I can feel home. I can be whatever, whoever I want to be. When I start to study in boarding school, I start to hear that America was really involved with this Operation Moses. I start to appreciate it because they don't know me, they don't know who I am. I'm just a Jewish Ethiopian girl. Why they had to do such effort to bring me to Israel, to my Holy Land? Why? I start to think that if you give something to somebody that you don't know, that he needed that, what makes you? It makes you a great person. And I think the American people can be proud by being American, because who I am today, that's thank for them.
I remember being taken to what was then called a Palestine fair by my mother, dancing a horror, singing, Anu olim al saliv not ulhibba notba. We're going up to the land to build and be built in it. I was awarded the Israel Prize in 2007 for my contribution to social rights, social welfare, and specifically women's rights. My aim really is to set an example, but also to encourage others to see that we have a mission. Something that certainly is concerned with our own country, with how we live our lives and what moral code guides us, but also how that moral code can be an example to the rest of the world. I'm deeply grateful to the American feminist movement, and particularly American Jewish feminists who were very involved and very helpful in every way as far as what we were trying to do was concerned. The other group of women that influenced me very much were really my heroes, were those who fought for equal suffrage, in other words, the right to vote and be voted for. And here, of course, the original American suffragists were a great inspiration. I hope that we here in Israel will succeed continuing to be in the vanguard of countries in the Middle East in which women can and do play a major role.
When I was a little boy, right on the outskirts of Haifa, if I told you the name of the town, you wouldn't be able to pronounce it. Usually it sounds like a cat throwing up a hairball. That's the first sound. All I knew as a little boy was I climbed the little hills of Mount Carmel, the biblical Mount Carmel, and used to pick cactus fruit. Of course, I used to get the pricks inside of my hand, but it was idyllic, it was carefree, the air was fresh, nobody bothered me. I waited over 50 years before I went back home to Israel. And when I landed in Israel with my family, I have to tell you that I was profoundly proud, inspired. I was struck by the poignancy, the beauty of having the three major religions within a quarter of a mile of each other, all worshiping their God in exactly the way they want to, without interference from any other entity, government, political, or religious groups. It is there's hope for humanity after all. I will tell you the most amazing visual memory I have is people smiled a lot in Israel. I didn't see that elsewhere. I was trying to figure out what they were smiling at. I'd see people coming down the street and smiling, and I thought it was, the hair, oh, that guy from Kiss, but they were just smiling everywhere. They were thrilled, I think proud, to live in Israel.
I spent 9 years in Soviet prison as the one who was fighting for the right of Soviet Jews to go to Israel and for the human rights of the Soviet Union. There was one day when we forgot about precautions, and like crazy we were sending to one another messages by Morse code or talking through toilets. So the day when we read in Soviet newspaper Pravda article against President Reagan, who dared to call Soviet Union evil empire. We believe that is the turning point when finally our cause will win. Soon after I was released, I went to America, and then I met with President Reagan. And when I told to President Reagan about that great day in prison, when we heard about his speech, he looked happy as a little boy. He almost jumped. He said to others, "Come here, listen what this man says," and asked me to repeat the story. I understood that he probably suffered a lot for that speech, and it was very important for him to hear how it was accepted behind the iron curtain. It's at some moments when you feel yourself so lonely that under the totalitarian regime fighting for human rights, that look, all the world is against you. What is your hope for? And you know that you're not lonely because there is one country, the United States of America, who firmly believe in those principles for which you are fighting. And they not only believe, they put their power where their belief is. And that's why it helped us a lot not to feel lonely in this struggle.
It was in 5th of October 73. We were caught by surprise all around the small Israel. All what I knew was that we need assistance because we started to waste ammunition. We started to reload from our depots. We started to lose airplanes. The ambassador called me up to his office, and it was close to midnight, and said to me, well, put a tie on yourself, dress yourself, we are going to the Oval Office, to the president. Well, it was the first time of my life to sit in the office of the president. It's not just the president of the United States of America, my feeling was. He was the president of the big world. And I looked at him and I said, Mr. President, this morning I was driving down to the Pentagon, and all of a sudden I don't see my way because I had tears in my eyes. Sir, I'm not ashamed to say you, a fighter pilot, a general, thinking, what's going on? Whom am I representing in this country? Do I have a country at all? Everything goes so bad. It's close to a disaster. We need your assistance. And I'm not asking you to send any manpower, any soldiers, any brave people to assist us. I'm asking for aluminum, steel, all the things which can support my people to fight. It was quiet in the room. Nobody opened his mouth. Thank you, Mr. President. And they discussed among themselves from the other side of the table. And I looked at the eyes of Secretary of Defense Schlesinger, and I could read his eyes that it's going to be okay. I didn't get it in writing, but I got it deep in my heart. And I know what I said inside me at that time. God bless America. But loudly I said, thank you, America. And I say it today again. Thank you, America.